Good morning, and welcome to Universal Spirit Center. We're so glad you're here. We're so glad you've tuned in. So welcome, especially all of you who join us through our broadcast, through YouTube or Facebook or live stream on our website. We're so glad you joined us. A special shout out for any of you who join us for the first time, or for those of you who join us from other countries. Please know that we warmly welcome you to our gathering. So I am really excited today for several reasons. We have a number of people here. It almost looks like church. We don't open till June 20th, but we've got some gathering people here because we have big news here at our center today. We are graduating 7 spiritual leaders today. 7. It's obviously a big thing for these 7 individuals. It's a big thing for our community. It's a big thing for their families and relations. It's a big thing for our organization as a whole. And it's a big thing for the world. So we're really excited. More about that later. I simply want to welcome all of you here. Take a deep breath and let's welcome back Gino Walker.
Good morning, Universal Spirit Center, and you out there as well. Every time I I will pray. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will, 1, 2, 3, 4, pray. The river Jordan is cold and icy. When I feel the Spirit flowing through me, the river Jordan is cold and icy. When I feel the Spirit moving through me, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. And every time you feel the Spirit moving in your heart, go ahead and pray. Up on the mountaintop, when my God spoke to me, I felt the Spirit moving through me. Up on the mountaintop, when my God spoke to me, I felt the Spirit, 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 Spirit move through me. Oh, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. And every time I feel the Spirit moving, moving in your heart, go ahead, pray. Come on, Oliver. Up on the mountaintop, when my God spoke to me, I felt the Spirit moving through me. Up on the mountaintop, when my God spoke to me, I felt the Spirit moving, moving through me. Oh, every time I feel the Spirit moving, grooving, moving, I pray. And every time I feel the Spirit moving in your heart, go ahead and pray. Oh, every time I feel the Spirit moving, 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 go ahead and pray. And every time I feel the Spirit moving in your heart, go ahead and pray. Thank you. Thank you. Let's give some love for our Sounds of Spirit band. Oliver on bass, Matt on drums, and Linda on piano. We're so blessed to have them back with us. And today we have a special guest artist, and you'll see him a little later. Gary Lynn Floyd is our beautiful guest artist today via video. So yeah, back to you, Rev.
Okay, cool. So if you notice, if you're a minister up here, practitioner up here, music director, you don't need a stinking mask. Might be reason to become a practitioner, a minister, or a music director. So I want to acknowledge birthdays. Who was born in June? Derek, stand up. Who else? Borghild, big days for you guys. As well, Lee Carini, Bar Maxfield. Are you born in June? No, you just were wanting to stand. And Jennifer Clark, all born in June. So happy birthday, happy graduation, big month for you guys. And Lydia, was it your birthday?
Lydia DiVincenzo.
Oh, and Lydia DiVincenzo. Good. Okay, we are opening. Looks like we're opening now. We're not opening now. We're opening June 20th, and we're following the governor's lifting all of the requirements as of June 20th. So a couple things to note about June 20th. The first is our first gathering now starts at 8:15, and our second gathering will be at 10:30, and that means our live broadcast will as well be at 10:30. 10:30, 8:15, 10:30. And the reason we moved it from 8:30 to 8:15 is we need more prep time for the broadcasting that we do for the second gathering. So be aware of that. Be also aware that next week, broadcasting will happen at 10:30. Starting next week, our live broadcasts happen at 10:30. So I want to read to you a letter that I wrote based on some decisions that our leadership made about requirements and guidelines in terms of our opening. So this letter we'll read at all of our gatherings from here through June, as well as it will come out in a newsletter and be posted on our website. So here's our letter. We are so very excited to welcome you to our 8:15 and Turn 30 gatherings as of June 20th. We are committed to creating a space in which everyone feels welcomed and safe. Following the CDC mandate, anyone who is not vaccinated is required to wear a mask. Additionally, anyone who feels safer to wear a mask is supported in doing so. We will have masks available at the front door as you come in. We acknowledge moving from everything being shut down to an experience of coming together may be difficult for some of us. Some of us may be struggling with what is safe and what is not safe. To that end, we ask everyone to be respectful with whatever decisions people have made regarding being vaccinated or whatever personal boundaries one establishes. To that end, we ask that you ask others if they want to hug or shake hands before you assume they want to hug or shake hands. You might say something like, "Are you hugging?" or "Are you shaking hands?" We also respect and include all of those people who choose to continue to participate in our gathering through watching us online or YouTube or our live broadcast at 10:30. Throughout June, we will have no congregational singing, and you will not be asked to hold hands. At the end of June, the leadership will reevaluate these two practices and make a decision accordingly. We are an inclusive community. As we come together after being apart for over a year, we respect each other's personal decisions and boundaries. Please contact me if you have any concerns, questions, or suggestions. There you have it. Okay? Good. So that's our protocol for our opening. Oh, also, Johnny, I'm going to invite Johnny up. Johnny has a few words to say to you. Johnny and his dog, Tuna.
Good morning, family. I was sitting here reflecting on the year that we were separated and all that happened, and I just foresee a really, really joyful return on June 20th, like an explosion of gratitude and celebration, so I'm grateful for that already. I'm looking forward to it. 10:30 will be the return of youth ministry. We have great activities and experiences planned for babies, school age, and teens. So bring your children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, invite your neighbors' kids. We'll be celebrating togetherness and the joy of us all being back as one physically here. So I'm grateful, and I am hugging. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Lee Armentrout here. I have some announcements for you, and I want to establish this right now. I am a hugger, and I am also a pepper. So we have, I'm going to click through these pretty quickly. If you have a question about anything I'm about to say, please go to our website or email me directly using lee@universalspiritcenter.org. We have a transgender training. If you are curious about how to best support transgender folks, this is a place that you can go next Tuesday evening at 6:30 to our website and click on the community room button, and there will be a facilitated training there about how to best support transgender individuals, sort of just in time for Pride Month, right? Awakening Wednesday continues, of course, at 6:30, June 9th. And remember, Awakening Wednesday goes in person on June 23rd. In person, June 23rd. Our first event before we open, actually, is June 19th. We're having a summer solstice sound healing experience with Terry Wilder and Liz Myers. So go to our website, go to the events page, and see the button there. So you can, it's a love offering or suggested donation of $25, but you can also pre-register and pre-donate if you want at that website. Let's see what else our Racial Equality Project has an action for us. That's also on our website. It has to do with, I'm going to read this. Sign up for Showing Up for Racial Justice. It's the SURJ, or Surge, Action ZAP. Action ZAPs provide training to support the work to win racial justice. Join us in monthly 1-hour gatherings where we zap or call or text or email whoever we are pressuring that day. You'll receive training and support throughout the session. So click on the Racial Equality Project tab on our website. Movie of the month for REP is called American Son. We come together on the community room button on our website on the third Friday of the month to discuss the movie of the month, American Son. You can view it through Netflix. And lastly, we have a prayer room. Is still online, so after the gathering, if you'd like a brief affirmative prayer from one of our beautiful practitioners, click on the prayer room button at our website. And that's all I have for you. Thanks for your attention. Please.
All right, thank you, Lee. Thanks. So I'm feeling a bit emotional here. Not only am I seeing us, we actually have a crowd here this morning, but we have, 7 people in our community that have said yes to spiritual leadership. And it's a big deal to have 7 people in a spiritual community. So we've done well, guys, at raising 7 people within our community to have them say yes to leadership in spiritual community. It's a powerful thing. It's like a marriage. It's like a marriage. So I want to acknowledge all of the former spouses in the room that are now mistresses and in the room. I want to acknowledge all of the spouses. So Gail, would you stand? I want to acknowledge Gail, Sherry's spouse. Patty, would you stand? Zena's spouse, Patty. George, I want to acknowledge Derek's spouse, George. Stay standing. And Johnny, your spouse, stay standing. And Conrad, Borghild's spouse, stay standing. So yeah, do we know something? Yes, for Sarah. And I want to acknowledge Lydia Joy's dad and sister are here. Did you guys stand? So I want to talk to you guys for a bit here. And I also want to acknowledge the other spouse in the room. One of the other spouses, my spouse. Please stand. So it is true. There's a joke among ministry that the spouses become the mistresses because you share so much of your spouse with the community, with the growing call, with their yes to God. And so thank you for all of those times when you put your needs aside for them to study, for them to do their spiritual practice, for them to jump through yet another hoop. You've got a call as well. You've got a call as well. And your call is to support their ministry. So you've got an important role. So thank you. And the leadership of our organization asks forgiveness for all those times it was really hard for that to happen. So thank you. So I'm going to call up our practitioner graduates here. Derek, come on up. Hunter, come on up. Borgild, come on up. Listen to this. So to say a few words about them, we have an organization that has a spiritual counselor or a spiritual director as a significant role in our organization. And it's a prayer practitioner, it's a licensed practitioner. So these guys have spent a minimum of 3 years, but more, 3.5? 4, because the prerequisites keep growing. So 4 years in study to stand here before you for this moment. 4 years. So it's no small thing. It's no small thing. And we do our best to tear themselves apart so that they could be rebuilt in God's image. And so they've worked really hard. I know this. I know all of them personally, and I'm thrilled you say yes within our community. And so let me tell you a little bit about them. Borghild has joined our leadership team, our Wisdom Council. And so she's instrumental in the steering of the leadership of our community, and she brings her consciousness to that. So we're really grateful to you for that. And Hunter, I want to talk a little bit about Hunter. God and I know that he's being called to ministerial school. And he's knowing that, but God and I are really clear that he's got that call. So support him in that call as he says yes to ministry. So Derek and his husband, George, took me out to coffee about a year ago, maybe. And they told me that they were moving to Missouri. And I'm like, no, you're not. Because he's becoming a practitioner here, and because George is a leading lay leader in our community. And then they started to talk a little bit more about moving to Missouri. And I'm like, no, you're not. And then a third time they started, and a third time I said no. And then they continued on in their explanation. And Derek talked about starting a Science of Mind group in Missouri. Cape Girardeau, where they are moving next week, is about 120 miles south of St. Louis, and there is no Science of Mind community anywhere in that area. And Derek has felt the call to start a Science of Mind group there and to enter ministerial school. So when he said that, I couldn't say no any longer. I'm like, okay, this is really a good idea. And I'll say one more thing. Derek, we've never had a practitioner that speaks at graduation. Today, they're having a formal graduation with centers from all over. And Derek has been chosen to be the speaker for the graduates. That's a big deal. We never had that before. So I'm going to talk more about you guys later on in the talk. So I'm going to ask you to step back a bit, but stay up here. So in Science of Mind, in Centers for Spiritual Living, we have the absolute longest ministerial program of anyone in the world. It's true. Not only does someone have to be a practitioner to enter ministerial school, 4 years, but they have to take 3 to 4 years more school. So in a lot of places, this is like a doctorate level. And it's the requirement because we want to make sure that our ministers are people that are reliable context for truth, for safety, and a place where the experience of God happens. And I know these guys, and some of you guys I've known a really long time. And I'm asked upon to ask if they're ready, and in my heart, they're ready. I know that they're ready because I've known you for so many years, and I've known the hard work you've done. So I'm going to ask you guys to come up. So Sherry Ganan, Zena Kacha, Sarah Adams, and Lydia Joy Ayers. So each of them are being called. Each of them have forms in their ministry that is taking place, but I can't share what those are because for some of them it's not public yet, and it will become public over the next month or so. So I'm just letting you know that God is preparing places, has prepared places for each one of them, for each one. So it's an interesting thing in our center in that most centers don't produce ministerial students near to the degree that we have. We must have 12 to 15 ministers out in the world that are doing the work that became ministers in this center. And this year we're launching 4 of them. This year we're launching 4. So just as it's never happened that a practitioner has spoken at graduation from our center, it's never happened that a ministerial student has spoken at graduation, and this year, Sarah Adams is speaking. So it's my formal duty at some point in their process to say that these 7 are ready for ministry, and it's with such great joy in my heart that I say yes to your evolving ministry. I say yes. So I'm going to ask you guys to line up a little bit here so that you're in a row. I'm going to ask you guys to stand. And let's extend in our hands and offer a blessing to these 7 graduates. Extend our hands. And we take a breath in. And we call forth the awareness of this one life, this one presence, this one power. And we recognize this awareness, this presence, this power in each one of these 7 candidates for ministry. We recognize it, we acknowledge it, we call it forth, so that what this one life has called them to be, they already are. That they are fully in their active ministry in God's mind. That they are loving presence in the world. That they are a place where others come and experience this awesome God that has called each of them. And so we know a blessing on all those hundreds of people that these people will touch and inspire and challenge and comfort. We know a blessing on all of those people who come to their ministry. That mighty blessing going forth upon our planet. That wherever Spirit is calling them, that people are already gathering to experience their ministry. We know a blessing on their spouses and on their families in gratitude for their yes to their ministry. And with grateful hearts for this powerful threshold, we say, and so it is. Let's acknowledge these 7.
You will do amazing things with the joy each new day brings. And with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams, 'cause each of you are doing amazing things. Oh, amazing, amazing. They will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. All the places you will go and the people you will get to know. If whether, when, or how, God will always show you the path now. You're on the right track. No need to worry, look ahead or back. Just love your life and love your dreams, 'cause each of you are doing amazing things. Amazing, amazing. We are doing amazing things. Oh, amazing, amazing. You are doing amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stand in the here and now. When your mind gets busy, slow it down. Breathe into the now moment and trust that God will show you. Just take a break, relax within, and know. Amazing, amazing. You will do, don't you know you do amazing. Oh, amazing, amazing. You will do, they will do. I know you will do amazing
Wow, yes, totally amazing. This morning has been a roller coaster of emotions from gathering number one and being here after a year and a half for me. So it's wonderful to be here. My name is Tony Ceja. I'm one of the many licensed prayer practitioners here. And it is my honor to be here and lead us into our moment of silence. So we'll have a reading. We'll go through a meditation. And I'll take us out with a prayer. So let us relax. Feel free to close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Let us take a deep breath. And let us take another. Let us let go of any worry, of any plans. Let's just feel the support of your back. Let's feel the support of the floor of your feet. And relax. Today's reading is by Ernest Holmes, our founder of Science of Mind and Spirit. He says, subtle essence of spirit within me, flowing through me, elixir of life in me, purifying me with thy marvelous life. And let thy spirit cleanse me from all false thought and idea. And let thy life flow through me in a complete and perfect whole. Every single morning, mi casa es tu casa. And I say yes. And I open my heart. And I embrace it all. And replenish my being with the universal energy, with love. Through the warmth of the sun and the sunlight. The love of my beloved. I say yes every single day, every single hour, and I replenish my every cell with that ethereal, celestial energy. And I know that all of us are here for the same purpose, saying yes, replenishing ourselves, our beings, filling our cup, not just with coffee, but with the love of God, with the motivation, the incentive, the dream, the accomplishments, and above all, with the love the infinite and abundant love that we know God represents in our lives. So thank you for saying yes as we replenish and overflow with this love and energy.
Good morning, Universal Spirit Center. Gary Lynn Floyd here. I can't wait to be back with you in person. Until that time, here's a brand new song I wrote with Jamie Lula. It's called One Heart Beating. Let's all come together and sing this song. When we are united, we stand strong. There is nothing like the love we share with one another, no other there. We are one people, breathing one air, one human family that we all share. We are one spirit, come from one mind, one heart beating, one life, yeah, yeah. One heart beating. See our brothers and sisters in everyone. No one's outside the circle, no us and them. Embrace our differences, see what we can learn from one another. In love we affirm. We are one people, breathing one air, one human family that we all share. We are one spirit, come from one mind, one heart beating, one life, yeah. One heart beating. We are one people, breathing one air, one human family that we all share. We are one spirit, come from one mind, one heart beating, one life, yeah, yeah. One heart beating, one life, one heart beating, one life, yeah. One heart beating, one life.
Thank you.
Gary Lynn Floyd. Thank you, Gary, for joining us. Thank you. So today's a big day. So I want to talk a little bit about to these graduates, and then I'll talk to you. And my actually notes are right over there, Lee. You know, you don't need them unless they're not there, right? I probably won't refer to them at all. But did I mention that Lydia Joy's family's from Kentucky? Did I do that? They're all the way from Kentucky. Yeah. So I'm feeling, you know, as I mentioned earlier, a little emotional. In my own graduation, becoming a practitioner, during that event, I had the strongest awareness that this was the moment for which I was born. I think this event that these 7 and others are walking through is that big. And I will acknowledge, while they're having graduation today, all 7 of them will have oral panels. It's that one final thing. We've got to make really, really sure out of how many years that they're really ready. So they will be having those in July and in August? September, okay. And then after that, the license descends. So, I want to thank you guys for the process of letting go that it took to get here. I want to thank you for your hours and hours of study. I want to thank you for the process of letting go. I want to thank you for the many hours you have spent in spiritual practice. I want to thank you for the process of letting go. I want to thank you for saying yes to all the hoops that we have made you jump through. and for the process of letting go. But mostly, I'm grateful to you because you found the secret to life. You found the secret to life. There's two parts to this. You have become aware that the world is packed with God's presence and God's grace and God's love. You've become aware of that. So much so that at times when you're so open and aware of it, it's like you're swimming in it. You know that. And the second part to that great discovery is there's something about the evolution of your soul that is requiring you to assist others in gaining that secret and that knowledge. You have taken your focus off your dramas and your stories and your unhealthy patterns, and you have put your focus on God's love. You have become still enough in your own life that you've been able not only to be courted by God's presence, but to let that capture your hearts. That is what I'm most grateful to you for. This process has a huge implication for your lives. As you go through this process and have been going through this process, your life is no longer your own, but it's to be shared. It's to be opened up to all of those people who feel God's presence through you. So your heartaches, your insights, your triumphs will be used as fuel to feed those who come to you for support, who come to you to be challenged, who come to you because they see in you the experience of the divine. But the fact of the matter is, the thing is, this really isn't their call alone. You and I are called to become aware that our lives are packed with divinity. Packed with divinity. And the degree that we open to this, we swim in it. The degree that we become quiet enough and removed enough from the drama of our own lives, and to allow ourselves to be courted by that which has captured their hearts. It's a universal call upon all of life. And some make it a lifestyle. Some make it a structure. Some make it a profession. We're all called to this experience of knowing that divine love is the most powerful thing on the planet. And these 7 today, and those of you who feel this abundant grace, you join men and women of other cultures, other faith traditions, other generations, who have opened to this same magnificent life. So when we go through a social leadership, a spiritual leadership program, or when we've had an insight or a healing or an awareness or a movement of the soul, we could make the mistake of thinking that somehow now I've arrived. Or I should have arrived. But the fact of the matter is there's no license or installation or ordination that suddenly makes us whole and complete, because we already are. So I think we have to stay away from that danger of assuming just because I've achieved this or had this awareness or been on the spiritual path this long, we still bring who we are. And I've been, all week this phrase has been running through my mind, this line from Wilkie Marie. He was a 18th century, 19th century poet. He lived in Germany at the end of the century. And he says, be patient towards all that is unresolved in your heart. Don't make an assumption that you should be somewhere other than you are. Nothing can destroy ministry or our sense of happiness more powerfully than that. Where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be, or you wouldn't be here. And maybe for these graduates, because this is a real threshold experience for you guys, and for all of us, it's important to realize, to look at the span of our lives and to realize everything that's happened was supposed to happen. And it's got me to where I am today. It's made me who I am. And if that thing that I regret, or that heart, when my heart got broken, if they didn't happen, I wouldn't be who I am today. And the call is to be who we are. So just because it's been running through my mind so much, I'm going to say this again. Be patient to everything that's unresolved in your heart. And I will read the rest of his poem. That's the first line of his poem. So I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath in. Just let this poem speak to your heart. So, poem by Wilkie. Be patient toward all that is unresolved in your heart, and try to love the questions themselves like locked rooms and like books that are written in a very foreign language. Do not now seek the answers which cannot be given you because you would not be able to live them. And the point is to live everything. Live the questions now. Perhaps then, gradually, without noticing it, you will, at some point, in some distant day, move into the answer. And so we open now to the grace and the love and the presence of God that is packed within us and around us. as these 7 have done and will continue to do, we say yes. We say yes that that which knows our name and sees who we are and calls us beyond ourselves. We say yes to this abundant grace, to this light. We say yes to love. And so it is.
O great Spirit of love, giving freely, refusing none. O great Spirit of love, eternal goodness flows like a flood. O great Spirit of love, giving freely, refusing none. O great Spirit of love, eternal goodness flows like a flood. Love is all is love. Join us in singing the music of one in all in one. No greater blessing neath moon or sun. O great Spirit of love, giving freely, refusing none. O great Spirit of love, eternal goodness flows like a flood. Love is all is love. Join us in singing the music of one in all in one. No greater blessing neath moon or sun. Love is all is love. Join us in singing the music of one in all in one. No greater blessing neath moon or sun. No greater blessing, oh great Spirit, neath moon or sun. Oh great Spirit, no greater blessing, no greater blessing. Oh great Spirit.
Gary Lula, thank you for that music. I'm Sherry Ganand, and I am so grateful this morning. And good morning, beloveds, both here and out there in virtual cyberland. Thank you for watching. It is my honor to be able to lead us through our time of grateful giving, of conscious giving. And I have so much to be grateful for. Reverend Kevin spoke a little bit of our collective journeys here. But it is you, my community, it is this special house of the divine that has nurtured and supported me through classes, through friendship, almost my second family, because my family is all on the East Coast, except for my wife, Gail. So just grateful. And since I want to see this wonderful ministry, this wonderful community to continue, it comes from my heart that I like to give. You know, before this morning, I was thinking of the story in the Bible, in the New Testament, where Jesus is at the temple, out in the courtyard, I presume, out in the front, and there's this big, I don't know if it's a cauldron or urn, but anyway, a place where the monies were collected, much like today. And the Pharisees and the rich merchants were putting in their money, and a widow comes up and drops in 2 tiny little coins. And I looked it up online. They're smaller than a penny. They're worth 1/8 of a penny each, and she puts in 2. They're called mites. She puts in her 2 mites. And Jesus, observing this, says, you know, okay, that's great that these rich folks gave all this money, which was a portion of their income or their wealth. But this widow, the poorest of the poor in Jerusalem, gave all that she had from her heart. So whatever it is, I'm not saying give all that you have unless it's your heart. But maybe you will, because God will provide. So, you know, there's been times in my life where I've had abundance, so I was able to put in a lot, like the Pharisees and the rich merchants. And there's been other times where I haven't had a job, and so I gave of my time and my love, and times in between. And it's just from not a place of, you've got to give this % of your money because that's just what church-going, God-fearing people do. It's through love. And love always, always multiplies. And so I give to this Universal Spirit Center and the wider service of mission of Centers for Spiritual Living. And so I invite us now, from your heart, to give in whatever way is meaningful and speaks to you. And there will be a slide coming up on the screen showing the different ways that you can give. Later? Oh, there it is. And I invite you to repeat after me. As I receive, so I give. As I am one with Spirit, you are one with me. I am so grateful for this abundance of love. And so it is. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surrounds us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let your joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
Gina Walker. Gino. Sounds of Spirit. Tony, thank you for that great prayer. The Armand Trout. Sherry Ganam, thank you for the house. Thank you for saying yes. Thank you for being here. Thanks for tuning in. One final announcement. We are aware and acknowledge that this transition from being in shutdown mode to re-engagement may be tough for some folks. So we are announcing some groups that we're doing both on Zoom and or in person. If you would like to get together and just share your feelings, share what it's like for you, share what you're going through. Tomorrow we will make those times and those places available on our website. So please join us if you're feeling kind of strange and funny or whatever about re-engaging and participate in one of those groups. All right, please stand and don't hold hands. But maybe at elbows or elbow touching. So we just take a deep breath in. Just feel into God. Feel into this presence, this power, this one life. Open to the grace and the love and the light that surrounds us. So we know today is a blessed and powerful day. That if we choose it, it's a threshold experience where we move towards that which is surrounding us and dwells within us, and we say yes. So we know a blessing upon us and upon our planet, as together we say. So it is.
Love, love, love everybody. Love, love, love when it's hard to love. Love, I love it will change the world. Yeah, yeah. Share, share, share with each other. Share, share, share when it's hard to share. Share, our sharing will change the world. Care, care, care for each other. Care, care, care when it's hard to care. Care, our caring will change the world. Sing, sing, don't sing, sing all together. Don't sing, 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 sing when it's hard to sing. Sing, our singing will change our world. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Love, love, love everybody. Love, love, love when it's hard to love. Love, our loving will change the world. Our caring will change